Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Aaron if you're new here, and if you are a current subscriber returning to watch my videos, I really do appreciate it. Alright, so today I'm doing a regular film review, but also a Steelbook film review, so I will be touching on the Steelbook that I am reviewing very quickly in the beginning, and then we will move on to the main review. So, today the Steelbook and film I am also reviewing is Batman. I like the blue and gold, or yellow, I guess you could say. The back cover is actually pretty cool. It's a nice steelbook. It's not too shiny. It's not too, what do they call that? Flat or matte, I think they call it as well. This is the inside art. I like this with the bat symbol in the sky. If you look carefully enough, you can see Batman down in the corner, which is cool, but you can't see him when the disc is in here, so... Another thing that's kind of weird is the disc almost looks like it was printed upside down. Like you would think that the city should be like this, with the Batman down here, but then it's worded upside down. So I don't know what that's about, but overall, this steelbook is pretty nice. I like it better than the other version of this steelbook, which I'll try and throw up a picture here if I can find it. That's the difference between the two. Alright, now that that part's over, let's move on to the main review. This film is called Batman. A lot of people refer to it as Batman 1989, because that is the year that this film came out. Some would say that this film is the original Batman film. It's really not, because there was some Batman films that were made in like the 40s, I believe, in black and white, that were shown at theaters because they didn't have televisions. So, and then of course there was the Adam West TV show, which had a spin-off movie as well, which someday I'll get to reviewing. But when most people think of Batman, this is kind of the film they're referring to, because the other ones are way too old or way too corny beyond belief to really take seriously at all. So this film stars Michael Keaton and Jack Nicholson as both Batman and as the Joker. Now, I grew up with the Dark Knight trilogy, or I guess I can't say I really grew up with it, but I am used to the Dark Knight trilogy. I remember when it came out and how big a deal it was. I remember my cousin showing me part of the movie in a van that they had that had those little TVs in it that were like this big, that hung down from the ceilings. I remember eventually getting to see the movies for myself, and I think the Dark Knight trilogy with Christian Bale, directed by Christopher Nolan, is a great trilogy. I think it's really, really good, especially The Dark Knight just as itself, I think is a really fantastic film as well. So for me, this is a movie that I've kind of wanted to see for a while, because I want to see what was it like back in 1989 when Batman kind of had its introduction into popular culture in a very serious format, because up until that time, you pretty much just had Adam West with his show. I finally got down to seeing it. I gotta say, I enjoyed it for what it was. I actually enjoyed it more than I thought I was going to, as well. It's not the greatest movie ever. It's kind of weird because when you really break it down, it's not even a Batman movie. It's really more of like a Joker movie. Like, if anybody steals the show, or the movie in this case, it's Jack Nicholson's performance as the Joker. I thought he was really, really interesting, and I liked his level of menace that he brought to it. Like I said before, growing up with the Dark Knight trilogy, I mean, Heath Ledger's version of the Joker, I think, is one of the most iconic performances of any character that we probably will ever see, to be honest. He took a already established character and brought new life into that character in such a very unique and interesting and terrifying way. And I just think that that version of the Joker will just go down in history as being the most iconic non-animated Joker. So I was like, how's Jack Nicholson going to do compared to Heath Ledger's version of the Joker. And I really enjoyed both. I think they both fit their movies the way they should. I would have a hard time if Jack Nicholson's version of the Joker was in The Dark Knight and vice versa. There are some moments where the Joker is actually quite frightening, which I liked, and then there's other moments where he's just like, you can tell he's like mentally insane, and parts of it are comical, but then at the same time he can just on a whim just shoot somebody right there. You can never tell like how on edge he is, which I found kind of interesting. If I was naming this movie, I would call it like Batman the Joker or something like that, because it's really more of a Joker film. That being said, I like Batman in this movie. He really doesn't do a lot. Bruce Wayne doesn't really do a lot either. I feel like the character has no development and no real... It doesn't have much of a backstory. I mean, other than his parents got killed, which everyone who knows Batman knows that's his origin. Like, that's what gave him all the issues that he now has and why he decides to fight crime. But besides that, like, we really don't know that much about him. We don't see him do much other than sit in front of a couple like security screens. He punches a few bad guys and stuff like that, but like I said, there's no real character development for his character. I think Michael Keaton was a good choice to play Bruce Wayne and Batman. He's never someone you would expect to be Batman. You know, there's no shirtless scenes of him, you know, showing off his muscles and working out. I mean, you see him and he's in his tuxedo at his party or whatever, and you kind of just think, oh, there's a normal rich guy. He's pretty low profile in this movie as Bruce Wayne. Some people don't even know that he is Bruce Wayne, so that was kind of an interesting take on it as well. But I thought Michael Keaton, for what he was given to work with, I thought he did great. The action scenes are okay. They're not great, but they're also not bad. You gotta kind of go into it with like this different mindset of like, okay, I'm watching something from the past that feels very I would use the term artistic. Like, it's a very unique artistic take on Batman. The whole side character thing with Vicky Vale and Bruce Wayne I felt was extremely rushed and extremely, like, out of place. I would have preferred if they would have spent more time actually developing Bruce Wayne's character instead of this whole subplot of him and Vicky Vale having this weirdly romantic sort of relationship. Also, I will say this is my least favorite version of Alfred. It feels like they just found someone and said, oh, hey, you look old. You look decent in a suit, so how about you play Alfred? That's how it felt. It really didn't feel like they put anything into the casting process for him. Is this movie perfect? No. Can I understand the nostalgia and the love and fan base for it? Yeah, I can. But it's definitely not my favorite version of Batman. My favorite is definitely the Robert Pattinson version behind me. Batman evolves with time, and he's one of those characters that is very interesting because like every 5-10 years there's like a new version of Batman that comes out. That's just interesting to me. On a rating scale of 1 to 10 for personal enjoyment, I'd probably give it like a 6 or a 7. For filmmaking based in that time, I would probably give it a 7. It really wasn't that bad. Rewatchability, I'd probably give this a 7 as well, maybe a 6. Like, I wouldn't mind watching this movie once a year and just kind of having it running and not paying super close attention to it. But this is not a film I'd be like rushing around telling people, oh, you have to see the 1989 Batman film. Like, no. Alright, so those were my thoughts on the 1989 Batman film. Have you seen it? And what do you think about it? What did you think of Jack Nicholson's performance as the Joker? Do you agree or disagree with my viewpoint on that? Comment below and let me know your thoughts. Also, if you'd like this video and subscribe, I would much appreciate it. It really would mean a lot to me. Alright, thanks for watching. I hope you come back and see another video. My name is Aaron, and goodbye.